All right, loaded up. Cursed day. Got the boots. Not getting started till later. Live in the Pacific Northwest, so traffic's gonna be trash. But we need to ride today, so off we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, it's a voiceover. Giving a different video here a shot. So what I'm going to be doing is basically I've got the video edited mostly in front of me, and I'm watching on along and gonna provide some sultry tones for as you go. No music or anything like that. That's nonsense. But yeah. So I don't know if this is a good format or anything, but I realize you can't hear anything I'm saying in the video, so might as well add some stuff external to it. So video there kind of starts off with an intro of me zipping on along. Man, what a weird day that was. Just cursed from the get-go. Had a friend get injured earlier in the week. He's on his path to recovery, nothing too bad. Just a little kick and a stump action while out on the trail, resulting in a pretty significant sprain. But so kind of was jonesing for a bit of a ride. Ended up leaving my boots at home. It takes me about 40 minutes out of my way, then 40 minutes away from this riding area. And as I mentioned, I live in the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle area, and man, oh man, if I-5, if that doesn't spark some type of traffic rage in you, I don't know what will. And even worse, I was heading out the peninsula because this riding area is Tahuya. So yeah, either way, kind of cruise on out from the truck, and if you've been hanging around for a little while, you'll notice this is a different bike than some of the earlier ones I have on my channel. Some of the previous bikes I have are like a DR350. I ended up selling that to a friend, and then a Husqvarna FE350. Apparently I'm really a big fan of those weird displacement 4-stroke dirt bikes, and had myself a little bit of an issue with the Husky, and kind of have to rebuild the bottom end, but started right at the start of that whole issue started right at the beginning of riding season, and kind of just couldn't go the amount of time it would take to rebuild the engine for me, because I have to source the parts and work a full-time job, you know, all the standard excuses here. So I just kind of wanted to snag something else while I slow roll that project and kind of turn it into a dream build, and that's the bike you see here. This is a 2017 GASGAS EC300R. So this is the Spanish GASGAS before KTM goes ahead and gets involved. This is a really interesting experience. I haven't ridden many two-strokes, especially more modern ones, and I go back and look at the reviews, and this wasn't a very well-liked bike. I can't really explain why. I've ridden the KTM 300s from this era, and I will say they feel a little more like playful, a little more like side to side, but maybe it's just because I'm a 4-stroke guy at heart. Coming over to this like longer, it has like a longer, stable chassis feel while still being able to hang in the tight stuff. Man, it's just one of those weird things where you ride bikes like this and you kind of wonder, like, how the hell did they go out of business or, you know, get bought? It's honestly a lovely bike. I will credit this bike as invigorating my love of two-strokes this year, and I can't not see having one around for basically ever at this point. Really, this is a phenomenal motorcycle. If you haven't had a chance to ride one of the Spanish GASGASes, gosh dang, give it a shot. Sadly though, the bike doesn't really make up for the lack of skill that I have, though I am becoming a better rider, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I want to say about almost a year ago, I start putting up some videos of like, hey, I'm actually going to go do my first race and see how it goes. And so I started riding a lot more intentionally. I started off on like focusing on just like standing up, elbows out, like all the stuff the videos tell you. And kind of, that leveled up my riding, so to speak, pretty quickly. And then I just kind of kept doing it. So I ended up doing the races I had mentioned. I kind of went on to do the Desert 100 afterwards, and poker runs, and whole bunch of other random stuff. And I find myself kind of as like a mid-pack B guy a lot of the time, but hoping to get some dirt bike training in with a real instructor to cement that mid-pack B lifestyle. Yeah, so either way, if you're not from the PNW, you might be like, oh wow, this riding area looks amazing. You got some kids here zipping on along. I'm not trying to get in their way, so I'm just gonna let them pass. And there's so many little trails over here. There's off to the left, you really can't see it, but there's a whole camping area, and I'm assuming that's where they're at, and they're just kind of on some little practice loop. So yeah, either way, I'm just going to kind of bypass all that. I'm trying to do this trail that's known as Tahuya River, and watch this nonsense. Whoops-a-daisies. But I've ridden it once before, and you kind of see signs for it every once in a while, and just kind of hoping to get onto it, and I start off onto it, and I'm going to fall off of it. The story of Tahuya, man, you're lost 90% of the time. If you come out here with no destination, you're gonna have a great time. But if you're coming out here trying to ride something specific, good luck. You'd spend a lifetime out here, and I'm not sure you'd really want to. A lot of the trails they're the trails you have at home, super flowy, nice, but don't really have a high degree of like technical depth. Though there's a lot of gorilla cut-in single track that can add some challenges, and you'll see me bop onto it. Late spring, early summer, depends on the time of year you're talking to, or if you're a meteorologist or whatnot. So lots of vegetation right now. Had some rain a few days ago, so this dirt's feeling great. I mentioned that really cursed day, and not gonna lie, this whole ride just like cures whatever bad juju was in the air, and was really needed. So per usual, I have to thank my family for really encouraging me just to get out the door, even knowing it was going to be like kind of inconvenient on myself. I mean, I have a headlight and all this other stuff, but you know, when you're in those moods where you're just like anything could go wrong today, and you're looking for an excuse just not to go do it. But you know, I think this is an appropriated phrase from someone else. I've never been mad on a dirt bike, and when I am mad on a dirt bike, like it's gonna cheer you up right quick. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of shut off the mic for a few minutes here, just kind of let the trail go. But for the moment, yeah, we are on Tahuya River. I'm still cruising on along. You're gonna see me lose the trail here due to a detour, and yeah. So either way, I'm gonna click off, and I'll be back in just a few moments. Holy cow, what a jump cut there. Jeez. Yeah, so this is Tahuya, as I've mentioned a number of times at this point. Someone started a tracker up, I guess. But one of the problems out here, at least for me, is I get lost nonstop. So a lot of these jump cuts are me just looking at my phone to make sure I'm going the right way. The trails are marked. In this situation, we're following yellow diamonds. But, I don't know. I've got problems. I've never been a person to poo-poo at asking for directions or referencing a device for them. In the end, it doesn't really help me anymore, and maybe I'm not learning because I'm not doing it, but whatever. Some of you might be hearing my lovely voice and thinking, wow, that's really nasally, and just shut up and let me watch the ride. Thank you for the feedback. But as you can see, I'm not a good enough rider to likely entertain you for the whole time. So here I am. Since I don't know how to use my motor, I'm going to run my motor mouth. What you're not seeing here is not a lot of really fancy editing or anything like that. So I don't know, I kind of feel like you get a more authentic feel of the area, of the journey I'm on through this. It's really interesting, right? Like, I don't expect anyone's out there watching my videography, or my video library of crap. And if you are, thank you, I guess. Yeah, I make these videos for motivation for me to go out and do them, but also to record memories and be like, oh yeah, I did actually do like 6 races this year, or whatever the thing is. Go figure. I'm not putting up a lot of the race footage because I've got this really nice camera my family got me, and I'm afraid to go put it into an environment when I'm crashing into this stuff nonstop. So either way, just you get sporadic video, but at the same time, like, you can see just even from 2 years ago, I don't want to say like I've improved, but I'm able to stand up. I've increased my stamina. I'm working on my physical fitness off the bike. I'm letting that translate to actions on the bike. I'm taking advice from riders better than me. I'm riding around riders better than me. I'm just trying to get good. I don't even think it's necessarily good because they're not race lines or anything like that. But even, if you watch some of my earlier videos, I see routes, especially what ones I'm trying to avoid them. Now I'm identifying, like, hey, if I hit these square on, maybe at a little throttle, I can pop over them. I'm starting to have fun on bike. I have fun all the time I'm on the bike, but now I'm starting to get comfortable and flowy. I don't know how else to explain it, and so I'm just going to explain it in excruciatingly boring detail and show you mediocre videos as I do it. And you can critique all you want now. It's like, hey bud, you didn't keep your elbows up, and it's just, yeah, very silly. But yeah, so I don't know how much useful stuff I have to say throughout the video, apart from just what I'll say. So back there at that trail crossing, there's this weird, I don't know, like pyramid feature, triangle feature. That is the only spot in Tahuya I can consistently guarantee I can jump the bike now. It's primarily a woods rider. All the woods boys out there know, like, 1 feet of air is basically like a triple with a whip, steezy as hell. So yeah, it's kind of fun to do stuff like that, I guess, especially as a piss poor rider. And it feels pretty safe. I've been considering heading out to a motocross track sometime soon. Quick break in that. What a super beautiful view down there. Tahuya doesn't have very many good views, except for the PNW, right? You have to remember, my frame of reference is the Pacific Northwest. But some of these valley views you get, they're not very deep, but man, they just hit. Not a very good video there of it, but it's the best you get out here. Yeah, so either way, as I progress, like, my pace is going up, my endurance is going up, but I know there's some, like, disciplines and some stuff there's some skill crossover that I really want. So heading out to a motocross track is, like, starting to come into my purview, because a really controlled environment, so you can really practice things. But the things I perceive you're likely going to learn to get good at quick are whoops, turns, and get comfortable catching some airtime. And since I don't want to make my whole life like a motocross lifestyle, I could see, like, shortcutting the learning curve by maybe paying for, like, training. I think I could sneak my way into an intermediate. Like, I understand bike function, I can use a clutch brake, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. If anyone's done, like, a motocross day as a woods rider, did you feel like the skills transferred over to the woods, or do you think I would probably just benefit more by sticking to, like, a enduro cross kind of day, which is something else I really want to get into for training for. I don't want to get into enduro cross as, like, a competition. Just really, like, I see the value in a lot of those skills for some of the woods and mountain riding I want to do, how they can really, that bike control can transition over. So I just kind of mentioned, like, Tahuya doesn't have a lot of beautiful views, but what it does have are bridges. You're going to hear me say some silly stuff later on about bridges in the woods. Just know bridges get me excited, especially fun little wooden ones, and the fact I get to ride dirt bikes across them is pretty much the best thing ever. So yeah, either way, absolutely love it. We're at the point now where we are kind of getting ready to leave Tahuya River Trail and enter Howell's Lake Trail, or Howell Lake Trail. My goodness, it's and there's nothing I can do about it. There's a detour, and there's some trail out stuff, and it's just this is the start of being lost. Now, I could choose to hold the faith and just follow the yellow diamonds, but that's just a little too chaotic for my life, and I've kind of got two problems ahead of me, and the camera's doing a good job of hiding one of them. But the problems is this bike, although I was just waxing on poetically a few moments ago about it, it is a gas hog and does not have a big gas tank. You can burn through this tank in 30 miles to 50. Well, I'll give it credit. It can do up to 50, and I have no extra fuel on me. Now, I'm not covering that much ground, but you're just scared the whole time. And this is my first bike I have that doesn't have a plate on it, so there's no like punch, hit the road and just rip back to the truck really quick. I'm gonna get this plated. Bridge slut. I'm not sure what I'm thinking when I'm riding across the bridges, apart from just like elation. I love silly wooden forest bridges. They're the best. Holy cow. Any hoozles. So yeah, like I'm racing my fuel tank in my mind. I'm nowhere near running out, but in my mind I'm worried about my fuel, and then the other thing I'm worried about is the time. You can see the light starting to show up more and more in the footage, but in the PNW right now, sunset's pushing deep into 9 o'clock. Got about another month ago till the solstice, but we didn't start riding till about 7. And the number of times you go like 35 minutes out and then you are lost for an hour and 15 minutes is pretty bananas. Now, I haven't done night riding yet. I'm going to be honest. I'm both scared and excited to try it. So if anyone out here wants to join me, I would appreciate it. But if not, hey, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, so hold on. Like, I almost want to like edit rewind. But that's what I'm talking about. Like 2 years ago, that weird little like Rudy cut line, no chance I would have taken it. This now, like, yeah, I can do that. Whatever. Dude, that's just sick. That's sick. And I understand. You guys don't care. You're like, dude, like, I've been riding this good since I was like 7. Well, good for you. I'm pretty fast on the street. Like, I don't just ride dirt bikes. But I do really like it, and that's not like the flex. But it's just like I don't know. I'm not new, but I'm just happy at my progress, and just can't you be happy for me? If you do have feedback, I'm like, yo, this is how you can ride better, and it's shut up. You can say that, and that's fine too. I'm probably not gonna listen, but yeah. So you're kind of seeing another one of my weaknesses here. This is one of those things where I kind of want to go jump into a motocross track for. I have no idea how to ride over whoops or rollers or anything. It's tragic. It's dangerous. It makes me cringe. I mean, I made it through, so and +1 to life. But like, yeah, you're gonna see some real Gumby stuff later on. It's fantastic. Very amusing. I understand the concept, I think, that you just go faster, skim across. People are going to say stuff like, oh, you set your wheel down on the backside of the next roller or the next whoop. Brother, I do this for 2 hours a week for like 30 weeks a year. You think I'm that good? Definitely not. So, hey, either way, I think this next section, it's some A+ effort here. I pull out. I'm like, we can't go that fast through these. Not this part. That's fine. These are nothing. It's up here. This is my Vietnam. It's terrible. These are huge. So yeah, I immediately start to slow down. I'm like, it feels like if I hit this wrong, I'm gonna buck myself off. I'm out here alone. I do have a radio. I'm a big fan of carrying a radio for emergency communication, and I do have my cell phone. And Tahuya, for the most part, you got cell phone signal, so you can't get too effed up. but like it's just weird. Oh yeah, hold on, I forgot about this. I started doing some like back shots, pun intended, and just wanted to see what, like, give a different perspective. I end up overusing this angle in this video a little bit later on. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool and kind of fun. It also kind of shows me like, oh hey, I'm running 50 to 1, a little bit of blue smoke at full throttle. Like, that seems right. I don't know, 2-stroke carburetor life. Let me know if you think I need to do something about that. I don't know. Any hoozles. Yeah, definitely more where I want to be now. We're zipping into the woods. We've completely lost the plot at this point, by the way. We are now off Howdy Lake. We're off Tahuya River. We are just categorically lost. And this is my average Tahuya ride. I do GPS record these things, so I can drop tracks if you want them. But yeah, I don't really know where I am or if this even has a name. This one seems well established, so likely, but yeah, just completely lost. It actually brings up another idea with the GPS and ghost tracks and stuff like that. I thought about doing like a internet race series with people who watch my videos. I assume if you're watching a dude ride in the woods, you probably like doing the same thing. I don't just ride dirt bikes, I also ride like adventure bike things. And again, I live in the PNW, so I'm so fortunate for all the areas I can ride. But I almost want to do like, hey, this is my video. Moving time was 35 minutes, or whatever it ends up being. Here's the GPS track. Submit your GPS track, and if I can create a little web page and all this other silly stuff. I don't know, it could be a fun little competition thing. All right, here we go. This is another example of like, hey, things that I know how to do on the street, and I'm like, oh, I could just do that off road. Clutch ups, right? That's just a clutch up right there. And I kind of went sideways afterwards. That's basically like one half of a pivot turn. Like, look at me go. If I had more skill and more balls, I probably would try to do that standing and do that cool, like, over the log thing. Who knows? Maybe a practice session thing a little bit later on. I didn't do it in this video, but a lot of times before I actually go out riding, I'll throw down some cones and I do like really tight figure eights, loosen up the hips, and just feel the bike. But I kind of want to start incorporating some more of those advanced clutch drills and things like that, so like pivot turns and maybe even work on some slow wheelies. Woohoo! Be kind of fun. But dude, like, seriously, here we are. Is this difficult terrain? No, not even a little bit. This is easy as heck. But it's fun. It's super chill. You're not gonna get hurt, and you get like some of that I'm in the woods feel. It's tragic to an extent because these things do exist in the mountains as well. The mountains are open now, but from where I am, it's just a little bit more of a commitment. This is about an hour and 30, 2 hours today due to traffic. The mountains are also roughly that distance away, but the terrain is harder and the consequences are greater. And remember the time thing. So the goal in my mind is to develop the skills and confidence here and in safe spaces to then be able to conquer those more mountain trails and things of the nature. One thing you're not going to see me do in this video, but I think I've got them floating around every once in a while. I do like to go out after storms at the beginning of the season, clear logs off some trails and all the other silly stuff. So I can just see the mountains being a great place to really get to exercise that, like, giving back to the community aspect. So I'm gonna again just kind of shut up again here for a little bit. What you can see going on right now is I'm just finding more of these weird little single tracks, and they just cut through everywhere, and some of them are marked, some of them aren't marked, and it's Tahuya, so you can show people where the stuff is and no one's going to come kick down your door. And besides, they couldn't kick down your door, they'd have to kick down your mom's door to find you. So, you know how they say, like, the camera doesn't do it justice, like, with, steepness of hills and stuff? Yeah, that's probably true to do the perspective, and it can never really capture the speed or all the other stuff like that, not without way more skill than I have. But one thing that I don't think to toss into another thing, I don't think it really shows too well. So I'm wearing it on my chest, right? And it is so hard to see the trail through this stuff right now. It's insane. So I kind of zoomed down for, like, I clipped the stump. I bumped into a log. Man, just wild. And then you'll see here, like, we're in, like, jungle spec mode now as I'm building my bike's ghillie suit. I have no idea. What an experience. And honestly, a little bit later on, you're going to see a trail that's even more, I don't want to call it overgrown, because it's not. Like, the trail's burnt in really well. There's, you know, just whatever. There's plants. And not like woody shrubs or anything like that, so it'll clear out. But it's just, right now, it's wild in some of these spots. Like, a little bit later on, like, I completely lose sight of the front of my bike. I'm like, I have no idea where it is. So these wider double tracks here, kind of a bit of a relief from that standpoint. But I don't know, man. The single track, it's this flowy stuff is fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's on the right conditions, on the right day, it hits. Because you can rip through it, and I've gotten pretty good at sliding the rear around under power and in braking. Like, it's fun. But I don't know, man. The single track, like. Ooh, if you haven't given it a shot, like finding some good mellow single track to get into, it's pretty nice. It slows everything down, reduces the risk. Oh, that was that weird jump thing I mentioned. Look at Woods Rider, man, basically ready for frickin' Red Bull. Come for me, it's gonna be sick. Yeah. So, any hoozles, I love the double track out here, and I know, like, quads can rip around on this. I have. Never seen, like, just one quad out alone. And they keep these nice wide trails open, so I don't have to be plowing through the ferns. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't think I said anything of substance there other than some rambly bits. So, yeah, just, man, it's just fun. That's all I can kind of say. I know this commentary is A+, and at least I'll shut up the longer it goes on, because I'm realizing I really don't have much to say, and the video does a lot of the talking. And the main thing is hey, I'm lucky I was able to get out and ride. Wouldn't it be cool if I could ride better? But it doesn't matter since I got out to ride. Yeah. But okay, we're just gonna take a moment, because, you know, I hit that route. It looked like I knew what I was doing for a second. It felt like I knew what I was doing. I don't know if it looked like I knew what I was doing. But like, that's the type of stuff, like, 2 years ago, I would have been like, there's why hit that? There's this perfectly open space off to the side. But now I'm like, dude, why not? Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's the more I ride, the more options are opening up in the riding. I don't want to say, like, I'm seeing lines I didn't see before, because that's not true. I was in obstacle avoidance mode. I was in survive, not thrive mode. I'm definitely not at thrive yet. I really, really want to attend some training. I want to get good or competent on a bike, because I can only imagine it gets way more fun. Not a very competitive person, so it's just, like, kind of hard when it's like, hey, you know, most of the time I go out there and I just kind of want to ride around. So I don't have, like, a vested interest in getting good to get better at competition. But I do have a vested interest in making it home to my family. So maybe the safety aspect is going to be what gets me to bite the bullet. I'm not sure if you've looked at the price of these training sessions, and I understand the economics of it. I'm not here to throw throw shade in those directions. Like, look, you're taking all of someone's time. These are, you know, the market's 10, maybe 20 people in there. They do them in a location, they go somewhere else. Like, it has to be worth this person's time. And a lot of times, these are like ex-pros who are like, they're giving out 10 years of elite level performance with one-on-one coaching. So I understand the price, but, you know, like, as a non-competition, as a guy who this only costs me money, right? Like, you know, I'm not sure if you know, but like gas is like $6 a gallon out here right now. I told you this thing's not fuel efficient. Well, the thing it's that I drive it out here is not fuel efficient either. So like just this whole little adventure burns 8 gallons of gas. Like, you know, the 1.5 here, and then the 6.5 in the truck. And you're just like, dang. And they'll talk about like a lame view of the world, but look, when gas is $6 a gallon, sometimes you gotta have that view. Which actually brings me back to, I am fortunate. I'm not someone who needs to have like a new thing. I'm fine with a second, third hand purchase to get me through. And this motorcycle, dude, I got like this super well set up hunk of junk for like effectively a really good deal, because what I think is a very fair price, because there's a lot of people who go to the internet and there were like 4 of these bikes sold and everyone kind of hated them. So I end up getting this, what I think is a truly lovely machine. It's got flex bars on it, a Recluse. I'll wax poetically a little bit later on about the Recluse. A handbrake. I'll talk way more about the handbrake. You know, just a really nice skid plate. Just this hilariously well set up bike for cheaper than anything out the door. And like, sure, I got it with like 62 hours on it or something. It's a 2017, right? Like, and I think those were some hard 62 hours, just kind of going off some of the evidence around the bike. But hey, you know what? I can still buy pistons for it. Top ends are dumb easy to do. At the end of the season, I'll go ahead and take care of that stuff. And just, I got really lucky, so sure, it's a gas hog and all this other stuff, but holy cow, just like, even though the bike's not just the main cost here, I did a video a little bit ago. I've got some Garnet SG12s. I think they're discontinued now, so you can find them for a little bit of a sale, but you're still spending $500 on those. I'm wearing a chest protector that's like $300. You know, the helmets are $200 plus. You know, all the stupid little gear, like, it all adds up. So what I'm saying is, like, when there's a training and it's like $600, $700, $800, and mind you, I get it, it makes you safe, and, you know, are your knees or your back, is your bodily function worth $800? Yeah, every day of the week, no matter who you are. But it's still just a hard pill to swallow, especially when I'm just out here bopping around doing stupid stuff. Anywho, so that's, I'm not even sure if that's a soapbox. It's just, again, I understand the economics. I just have to coordinate it with, you know, time away from the family, and who the hell's in the area. Does this trainer align with like the riding style that I want to do? Like, I don't really want to learn like foot off peg style turns and stuff, because I just don't do stuff like that. I would rather, again, because I'm not a competition rider, so I want someone who can really teach me like slow, woodsy, almost like medium enduro-y type stuff. I don't know. Again, we're talking too much about stuff that doesn't really matter. So this is me coming back into Alfendal staging area. That's where we started, but this is actually from a different direction than how I got here. So if you were to go up this road that we're about to cross to the left, you'll hit the Tahuya River staging area, and that's where I crossed over after that short woods loop. But so what you didn't see cut out there was I swing by the truck, you know, grab some water and whatnot, and now I'm heading off to one of my favorite primitive single tracks cut over here. There's also a little bit of a whoops section here. Here you go. Here's my terrible whoops riding ability. So yep, still not very good at it. But the nice thing is, I have not died. You can see I am still on the motorcycle. I'm attached to it, and it doesn't feel that out of control. I just wish I was better doing shit like that. There's deers up here. I've seen elk. Oh man, do I have a funny story about deer. I had one jump out near me, not even in front of me, near me. I saw it, I acknowledged it, and then like 3 seconds later, I fucking panicked. It was hilarious. I have the whole thing on video. I'm not going to put it in this video, but like I let go of the handlebars and like the bike just fades away from me. Somehow, I managed to like rip myself back forward and grab a hold of it, and then I crash into a bush. It was just a whole little bit of nonsense. I've seen a big cat out here before, chipmunks, squirrels, some sweet barn owls, or I don't know, I'm just gonna call it a barn owl. I'm gonna pretend it's a barn owl. Big owl things, small owl things, you know, some the size of your head, as well as like all other sorts of stuff. I've seen an eagle, you know, just random things that live outside. Go figure. Yeah, so not all necessarily just in this area, just kind of all throughout this whole ORV-ish area, working forest area that they allow the ORVs to use. Yeah, but either way, at the end of this trail transit section, there's a primitive cut. And I don't know why. Maybe just because like, I feel like, ooh, I found it, even though it's like kind of marked. Just absolutely love it. So yeah, you're just going to kind of see me rip on over there and start that up. But yeah, kind of cool. You get this whole little fast, straight-ish section, low branches, so you kind of got to duck beneath them. I don't know how well the camera is really portraying it, but kind of fun, right? I don't know. I like it. The whole thing is motorcycle fun. Man, I can't express to pretty much anyone who's willing to. If you're watching this video and you're here and it's 40 minutes, I don't need to convince you. But if you want to send this part to someone, go ahead, I guess, because like holy cow, like just get out there. Even if you're a bad rider, get on any two-wheeled thing. I've taken a Honda Monkey up here. It's hilarious, but like. Get on any two-wheeled thing and just, like, go rip around off-road for, like, 30 minutes. And as long as you don't, like, send yourself into a tree, you're probably going to have an ear-to-ear grin. Like, it's that perfect amount of, like, self-controlled adrenaline. Like, it's not meditative. That would be incorrect. It's, like, danger-induced focus. And, like... I'm not a person who's got like a particularly noisy head, apart from the non-stop thoughts. So I'm just kidding. You know, but like I can quiet myself without an activity like this. But there is something to like. There's an adversary, and there's someone who's ultimately responsible, and the adversary is. Whatever the heck's in front of you, and the person who's responsible is you, right? Like, at the end of the day, no one whiskey throttled your bike into something. It was you. Getting some of these, using the clutch to roll myself back and forward, kind of, you know, one of those skills people are like, oh, if you can balance yourself on a hill, you've got good clutch control. Oh, my goodness. Put myself in neutral. What a show. Any oozles. So, either way, people say I should be able to do it. Honestly, it's something on the street side you do a lot, especially if you like the four-square clutch drills and bike mobility drills. Like you should have enough clutch control to do stuff like that. I really think only like super beginners wouldn't have that much control. But either way, you'll actually see me use that a number of times up here soon. Yeah. So you saw round 1 flash up on the screen. And I'm being a little bit of a Gumby here. Hey, it happens. And so I'm kind of like setting myself up for a little challenge that's going to start here at round 2. And it's like a no dab through this little primitive single track section. There's a little log jump we just bopped over some tight turns, and some really narrow single track that kind of is going to come up here in a moment. It's over. Again, I'm going to say overgrown. It's covered in random vegetation. So yeah, I don't know. This is the playful aspect of this, right? I am not a kid, if you can't tell from the deepness of my voice. I'm deep into my 30s. I'm closer to 40. It's depressing to say, but hey, time marches on. And just like while I'm out here on this stuff, you're finding those like playful exercises, like, oh dude, I bet you I can do this better. There's no one there. Like, it's not because of the video I'm deciding I want to do that. I just have a camera strapped to my chest as I'm happening to do it. But I'm like, no, we're gonna do this again, and this time we're just gonna do it better. And I don't know what better means. Well, I mean, I guess I do. It's like, just next time I'm not going to dab. And if you don't know what the dab is in the context of the dirt bike scene, it's I'm just not going to put my foot down. So yeah, it's kind of fun to just to have that experience where you're just like, I'm doing this only for me. I'm doing things that I think is fun, yeah, and that's the end of my TED talk for why if you need to convince someone to dirt bike, you're gonna say like it'll help you think, or it'll slow the world down, or it'll focus you on something, and it's like meditative. But I don't know if it is. I've been out riding with friends and have seen them at their lowest lows on a dirt bike. Like, if you ride dirt bikes, you will watch grown-ups cry, not just because they got hurt, but because like they are at the limit of physical exhaustion, and then like 20 minutes later have a shit-eating grin on their face when they realize they're going to be able to make it home to dinner that night. And I don't know, there's something great about that aspect of this. And I feel competition, I understand it's a low driving force for a lot of people, but that's the one thing the trail riders have is when it's not a competition. Look at this, I can't even see the trail. What is going on here? When it's not a competition, it just really makes it just so much more welcoming, especially as a newer rider. And I'm speaking as someone who can remember what like returning back to dirt biking is like, and just being able to do this kind of stuff in that environment where it's like the only person judging me is me, and I promise you don't need a better critic than that. Anyways, so we kind of completed the round 1 test, and it looks like on the chart about another 2 minutes before we get back to the start of it again. But again, just like how weirdly looped in all these trails are. I'm lost again, completely lost. And then all of a sudden I'm going to be like, oh wait, I know where I am. And it's wild. So yeah, I'm just going to let it keep playing. I'll be back in a moment or two. Just fixing my watch for once. Not going to check anything. There's one path here. All right, deuces. Yeah, so up here in just a moment, we're actually going to see another instance of, kind of using the clutch for the rollback thing. Admittedly, it is a really useful skill. And again, I don't even know why I'm throwing shade at people, or even this counts as shade. I don't even know. But, I don't know, they're just... Look, okay, I get bored, I get home. I feel like a lot of us, I want to veg out. 20 or 30 years ago, it was on the tube. These days, it's on the YouTube. And, as a dude who's into dirt biking, pretty passionate about it, it's just, like, weird. All of a sudden, like, this specific skill you're seeing right here became, like, the thing that everyone wants to talk about. Like, oh, just this one trick, and you'll become a better dirt bike rider, or something like that. I don't know. It's just weird. I can't explain it. I also can't explain why I'm hung up on it. It's just one of those like really weird foundational skills that I feel like if you know how to clutch, you know how to do. But maybe if you don't know you need to use it, whatever. I'm certain you can say that about a lot of other things. Yeah, so, what's going on now? I was like, oh, wait, what? How am I back here again? So I'm just a little further down the trail than I thought I would be, and coming from another weird side of it. You just don't know how this stuff happens out here. I don't know. I've got no direction sense. Maybe you know exactly where you are at all times. I don't. So either way, here we go again. You're gonna that slow clutch release skill, just to stop me from rolling backwards. Now, kind of one of the interesting things, I actually do have a handbrake, so I can use that as well. All right, so starting now, no dabs. Let's go. I can spoil it for you if you want. Yeah, you know what? I'll let you find out how it goes. So I'm gonna shut up and let Bike Felix talk. It's gonna be higher pitched because, I don't know, I guess when I'm not talking into a microphone, I talk with my normal voice, which sounds like this guy who's in the video. And he's going to be talking about bike stuff. Alright, hey, I'm back. Holy cow. Well, look at past me go. We made it through. We're seeing some of these back shots again. And, I don't know. I think it's a cool view. I'm just definitely going to overuse it here for a little bit, so sorry about that. I'm just kind of jetting back to the truck now. But again, I think it kind of gives an interesting view of, like, what's actually happening with the rear of the bike. when you're riding. I don't know. It was a choice. As I'm going through that, my lovely wife would like to let everyone here know, all 12 people, that I do know it's log, it's better than bad, it's good, but I personally think you should have a more positive attitude, and it's better than good, it's great. So that's why that goes on. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's good to feel like a kid, and dirt bike make grown man feel like kid. Probably make kid feel like grown man or something. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But I can remember a week ago. That's when this happened. Basically wrapping up here. I'll probably jump in or say something else in a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I would like to say I hope this gave you the confidence that an idiot can get out there and ride, so you can too. Or if you already ride, I was out having fun and you should too. And if you can't ride for any number of other random reasons, you can watch me ride, and you can imagine that you're a better rider than me, because you probably are or were. And you can just laugh at how terrible of a rider I am, which I assume has some amount of cathartic, or what was it, some value. Any hoozles. I'm just being silly at this point. I'm rambling, which I've done this entire time. I got a bike due to an unfortunate event with my old bike. It's a 2-stroke. It's great. 2-stroke good, 4-stroke good, dirt bike good. Don't need fancy bike to have tons of fun. You just need to get out and ride. With that, we're pulling back into the parking lot, but I can already sense you're like, but the video's got like 10 more minutes. It can't be done. You are correct. It's not. So I actually normally do this as a warm-up loop. It's the start of Overland, which I did at the start of this, but you hang right and you truck it down this little transit section, and you end up in this little single track that dumps out on one of the Forest Service roads. I'm going to give you incorrect directions, but I know the word, so I'm just going to say it. I think it's like Goat Ranch or something like that. It's probably not Goat Ranch Road. And you just hang a left on it, and then that will generically get you back into the area you need to be. But so this is my warm-up loop. So pretty much every day I go riding out here, I do this first. There is a reason I didn't do it first this time. It's because I just wanted to go somewhere else, and I didn't want to get lost on my way there. So that's why I didn't go this way. But really, what a lovely single track, an excellent thing to end the day on, and we're in it now. So it's just a good time back here. Again, I'm sorry you're getting the speeder reverse view. I don't know what to. Who knows what I was thinking? I don't. I do think I know I turned the camera around. I can see it in the video. It just you got like another minute or two until we're back to forward view. Yeah. I think that's it for realsies now. Enjoy the last of the video, and remember, if you're at your mom's house, Tahuya is just out the back door. Alright, have a good one, guys. See ya.